Sorry, that just took me a moment to get the settings correct there. It's all changed. I've come back from holiday and everything has changed on, what's the word? Zoom. That's better. I can see you all perfectly now. Wonderful. So, for those of you who are following the recording, we've just had a brief few moments conversation. We have decided that we are going to work with some of the energies that have been coming in over the last week. We've identified that commonly most of us are having a little bit of an issue with necks. We're also a little bit bunged up in the lower back. So tonight's flow will be a little bit more about kind of stretching, releasing, and just creating a little bit of space. Because we've had a gap in our practice, I'm going to take this quite slowly. I'm going to be gentle, nothing too harsh tonight. I haven't used my little speaker thing this evening because I forgot to charge it earlier. So you may wish to adjust your volume just in case you're worried that you're not going to hear me. So rather than starting in a Shavasana this evening, we'll do a little bit of breath work in a moment. But firstly, I'm going to sort of concentrate on the neck so that we make sure that our posture is optimum, that we're very comfortable. So I'm firstly going to draw your attention to the fact cross legs very comfortable for me, so that's generally where I will come to. When we're holding a lot of tension in the body, or when we haven't been releasing tension in the body, what tends to happen is our posture starts to hold on to those and make awkward shapes. So where we would ultimately prefer the back of the head to line up with the tailbone, you might notice that your upper body weight shifts forward. So just take a moment to consider drawing the shoulder blades together. We lift the shoulders up towards the ears, and then it feels as though you're ultimately leaning back against an invisible wall. And remembering to bring the back of your head to rest against that invisible wall. What that does is it encourages the chin to draw back rather than leading with the chin. So we're drawing the chin back and creating a little bit of softness here in this section at the back of the neck. For comfort, we're just going to rest the back of the hands on top of the thighs, turning the palms up towards the ceiling. And again, we'll repeat that, lifting of the shoulders up towards the ears, then slowly releasing the shoulders back down. Inhale, lift the shoulders up towards the ears. On the exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. So we're starting to create circles, the idea of drawing circles with the shoulders, lifting up, drawing back, and softening down, opening and widening through the collarbones across the chest, and reactivating those muscles between the shoulder blades. Let's once more bring the shoulders to release, back and down. We'll take a moment to turn the gaze fully over the right shoulder, bringing the underside of the chin parallel to the shoulder. So I've noticed that I've not turned my head to the full length that I normally would. I kind of feel a bit stuck here. So take a moment to bring the head back to center. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let's take the head over the other shoulder. So again, we're just keeping the underside of the chin parallel to the floor. Once more, drawing the head back to center, taking a deep breath in. This time on the exhale, just gently lower the chin towards the chest. Don't force the chin all the way to the chest. We want to feel a gentle widening between the space at the back of the neck, between the shoulder blades. We don't necessarily want to go for a big old crunch. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, draw the tummy button in towards the spine. Lift the head once more. Bring the underside of the chin parallel to the floor. Then realign that idea of bringing the head to rest on the invisible wall behind you. Perfect. Now we're going to use the index finger and middle finger of the right hand, pop it into the sort of fleshy part between the shoulder and the neck. So you've got a kind of tight muscle area there. So just for a moment, just draw little circles with the index finger, middle finger. That's always a really nice place to do a little bit of self-massage and release. Now I want you to find the optimum point to apply a little pressure with the index finger, middle finger in that muscle. And then almost do a little quarter twist with the fingers. So you're just applying a little bit of extra pressure. Lovely. Now we're going to lift the sternum up. We're going to place the opposite hand behind the hip, draw the rib cage around, then turn your head to look all the way over the opposite shoulder. So not the shoulder that you're pressing on, the opposite shoulder. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, full release. Take one further full breath in. This time, as you exhale, start to readjust, bringing the shoulders to face forward, repositioning that hand on top of the thigh, then release the fingers from that tight muscle. Let's switch over, do the same on the other side. So we'll start by massaging, drawing little circles. You'll know yourself how much pressure to apply. I'm very tight here, so I do tend to press quite hard. Then as you bring your fingers to just rest on the sort of deepest point, we'll do that little quarter twist, so it almost feels as if you're just adjusting where you're pressing into that muscle, lifting up again and lengthening. As you exhale, use the hand to help guide you into that gentle twist, then take the head over the opposite shoulder. Well, that feels easier for me on this side, much less resistance. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, release. Notice if any tension has popped up anywhere else. One further full breath in. As you exhale, release, bringing the head back to center, repositioning both hands to the insides of the thighs. Inhale to squeeze the shoulders up towards the ears. On an exhale, a big shrug, let it go. Perfect. Now let's repeat what we did earlier with turning the gaze over the shoulder. Let's see if we've created any further space just by doing that little bit of release on the trapezium. So turn the head over the right shoulder, underside of the chin, parallel to the floor. I think I gained a little bit more space on this side. Lower the chin towards the shoulder. Trace the line of the collarbone. You're taking the chin all the way over to the other shoulder. Lifting the head again so that the underside of the chin is parallel to the floor. Bringing the gaze back again to center. Keeping the shoulders level as you lower the right ear down towards the right shoulder. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, just allow gravity to drift that ear a little lower. You're not forcing it. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lift the head back to center. Take a deep breath in to lift and lengthen out of the sit bones. As you exhale, drop the ear towards the other shoulder, starting to turn the head there. Oh, I can really start to feel this releasing now. I'm glad we've persevered. Again, using the breath, allowing gravity to just release a little deeper. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, engage the core, return the head to center. Lovely. I feel as though we want to take an interlock behind the back of the head. We want to lean the back of the head into the palms, widening the elbows. So some of this tightness that we're feeling in the neck is coming off of curvature in the upper spine and a little bit of tightness across the chest and the collarbones. So squeeze the shoulder blades together, squeeze the elbows towards one another. Try to keep the head in the same position. As you exhale, lead with the right elbow, drawing the elbow down towards the floor. Let's encourage opening through the side of the waist and the rib cage. Watch that that left elbow isn't falling forward. We want to keep it nice and wide. Turn your gaze now up towards that left elbow. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, engage the core, return to center. Take a deep breath in to realign, drawing the shoulder blades together, lifting. Exhaling to squeeze to the opposite side. We'll begin with the head and center. Draw the elbows back again. Then turn the gaze to look along the length of that opposite elbow. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, engage the core. Bring the head back again to center. You can release the hands from the back of the neck. That feels so much lighter. Bring the hands onto the knees now. So rather than putting all of our focus into the neck, I want to slowly release the spine. We're going to do a little bit of a cat stretch, but in this seated position. So again, I'll turn side on so we can see the shape better. So we're using the hands for a little bit of purchase really to keep us holding upright. As you exhale, draw the tummy button in. As you inhale, start to push the shoulder blades back and start to round through the spine. On the next out breath, gently tucking the chin towards the chest. Then as you inhale, we want to do the opposite shape. So lead with the sternum, inhale to bring the chest forward. We don't want to look all the way up and undo all the good on the neck. So when we get to the chin parallel to the floor, draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, engage the core, start that curve, rolling through the spine, tucking the chin to the chest. Then inhale, lift and come back to center. So our breath is a lot faster than the timing I've given it. So work to the rhythm of your breath, exhaling to round, inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to round, inhaling to lengthen. One more time, exhale to round through the spine. Inhale to lengthen, lifting back to center. Keep the underside of the chin parallel to the floor, lean back against your invisible wall. Remove the hands, place the hands so that either the fingertips or the palms are fully to the mat. Keep drawing the shoulder blades together. Almost as though you're gently pressing into the palms or into the fingertips. Lift the sternum and continue to lift the gaze towards the ceiling. So feel as though that lift in the chest is directly related to lifting the forehead. Try not to just drop the head back. Keep drawing the shoulder blades together. Then as you exhale, a gentle release. Bring yourself back to that natural seated position. I'm going to suggest that we switch the leg crossover. Sometimes just changing the position of the cross can change where we feel the stretch. Let's place the right hand behind the right hip. This time the left hand comes to rest on the outside of the right knee. So this starts our body in a twist. Let's not rush to get into it. Lift and lengthen out the sit bones, draw the shoulder blades together, follow the right side of the rib cage. We'll come 3/4 of the way round. Then we'll inhale to re-lengthen, exhale to draw the shoulder blades together, and take it that remaining quarter until you can feel the head looking over that right shoulder. There shouldn't be any tension here. There should be a mild stretch, a gentle twist. You can feel the effort through the side of the rib cage. Inhale once more to lift and lengthen from the sit bones. Then as you exhale, release and soften, bringing the hands to rest on the knees. Let's take left hand behind left hip, opposite hand to opposite knee. Inhale to lift and lengthen. As you exhale, firstly we're coming into that 3/4 twist, just finding our comfort here. Reminding ourselves about alignment, so drawing the shoulder blades together, lifting up out of the sit bones, then exhaling to complete that twist. Perhaps noticing again any resistance or anywhere that releases significantly. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Then as you exhale, release. Bring the hands back to rest on the knees. Super. Let's take the the feet wider now. So less of the cross leg position, coming into our wide leg posture. So we mentioned earlier about discomfort in the lower back. This is always a really nice go-to if there's ever any sciatic pain that comes off of any nerve endings being ground in the lower back. The key for this posture is to ensure that you remain lifted and lengthened out of the sit bones. So it won't work if you, in a rush, hunch the shoulders and curve the spine. You won't create any release. So really visualize that lifting, lengthening, gently lengthening the spine. Bring the fingertips in front of your body. Take a deep breath in. Then as you exhale, start to gently walk forward. So for most of us, this will create stretch in the inner thighs. For some of us, we'll get a little bit of extra stretch to the back of the thighs. But by and large, we're creating space in the hips. And more importantly, we're taking the weight of the upper body off the lower back. We're encouraging the spine to lengthen. We might get to a point as we exhale where we feel we can fold the elbows towards the floor, bringing the forearms parallel to the mat, to the floor. Keep drawing the shoulder blades together. Take a deep breath in. Then as you exhale, start to walk the hands back towards centre. Perfect. One last seated posture. We'll bring the soles of the feet together into Baddha Konasana. Now my hips are feeling quite tight this evening, so I'm not going to draw the heels all the way into the groin. You work with what space is available to you. Your choice is either to have the heels a little further away or to draw the heels closer, lifting and lengthening, then exhaling to just ease forward into this space. I will mention that for those of us who sometimes suffer from a little bit of limitation around the knee joints, taking the feet a little further away can be kinder to the knees. So don't be frightened to adjust and find the shape that best supports you. And as you exhale, engage the core. As you inhale, lift and lengthen back towards centre. So your choice now whether you would prefer to sit cross-legged or in hero pose or even come back to wide leg pose. We're going to do a little breathing technique. I'm actually going to suggest that we do alternate nostril breathing so that we find a little bit of balance in the bodies, because I think there's a lot of feeling imbalanced right now. So if you've got a cold or if you've got hay fever, any sniffles, do clear your nose first, because it can get a little bit messy. Just got to put it out there because I know it's a thing. So I'll remind you that the way that we do alternate nostril breathing is we kind of navigate. The posh way is that you would use the index finger and middle finger to create a little bit of pressure in this space between the eyebrows. Not for everyone, can make some people feel a bit nauseous. Also can be quite difficult if you've got short fingers like me. So your choice. My preference is just to navigate using the little finger and the thumb. We lost Claire for a moment, but I think she's back. Beautiful. So let's start by licking the back of the hand and identifying first if we've actually got an imbalance. So take a deep breath in, breathe out through the nose, and you should be able to feel a difference in pressure between the nostrils. It might be that you're perfectly in balance, and how lucky are you, but most of us have a dominant side. So if you are desperately ready to go for a snooze now, you might find that your left side is really quite active. Or if you've finished a very busy day at work, or you know you've got a to-do list to attend to, you might find that your right nostril is very active at the moment. So what we want to try and do is bring a sense of balance between the two. So we're going to use a combination of pressing the thumb or the little finger over the nostril to make sure that we are breathing in and out through one nostril at a time. So I'm back to front to you, but I'm going to start with my, what looks like your right nostril, but it's actually my left. So inhale, take a deep breath in through the right nostril. Then cover that nostril and breathe out through the left. Take a deep breath in through that same nostril. Then cover that nostril, breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Cover that nostril, breathe out through the left. Taking a deep breath in, covering that nostril, full breath out. A deep breath in. Cover that nostril, full breath out. So we've been working on the functionality of breathing in and out through one nostril. Take a deep breath in. Let's see if we can channel where that breath reaches. So as you exhale, feel as though you're pushing from your belly, releasing energy. Inhaling deeply into the right nostril, directing that breath all the way back down to the belly, covering the right nostril, exhaling through the left. Take a deep breath in through that nostril. Focus on the journey of the breath, exhaling fully through the right. Inhaling deeply into that right nostril. Covering that nostril, exhaling fully through the left. Taking a deep breath in on that side. Covering that nostril. For the next 4 full breaths, I'm going to let you do it to your own timings, your own talking to yourself. Full exhalation. Deep inhalation. 2 full breath rotations remain, 1 out through the right. Back in again through that nostril. Final breath out through the left. We'll take a full breath in on this side. We'll keep that nostril closed as we exhale through the right. Then release the finger from the left nostril. Take a deep breath in through both nostrils. A deep breath out through both nostrils. Then lick the back of your hand. Take a further breath in. On the out breath, just feel, have you managed to bring the breath back into an equal weight, equal speed? And have you noticed that you feel a little bit more spaced out now? That's the one thing about alternate nostril breathing, we're a bit down. So I'm going to bring you to lie down now, just because we've been up and we've been breathing and we're a little bit dizzy. I will get you to keep waving at me from time to time so I don't lose you. So we're going to lie down on our backs, but let's start with our knees bent because we've been seated upright for a while. First thing I'd like you to notice when you lay back, because we've released the neck and because we've worked a little bit into that space in the lower back, it should feel much more comfortable to draw the shoulder blades together to create that flat space to fully rest against. Let's take the arms wide, turning the palms up towards the ceiling. We're creating a T shape with the upper body, allowing the weight of the arms, the backs of the hands to sink a little more deeply into the floor. Let's check in with that mobility in the neck once more. So think about the back of the head resting on the floor rather than the chin tipping up towards the ceiling. Follow the right ear as you draw your gaze over the right arm, bringing that ear parallel to the floor. Visualize the breath as you inhale from fingertip to fingertip. As you exhale, allow that ear to release a little more deeply. Feel that softening through the neck. Again, imagine that breath from fingertip to fingertip. As you exhale, draw the tummy button in. Use that extra control to bring the head back to center. Inhaling again to expand and widen, opening through the chest. Then as you exhale, bring the left ear parallel to the floor, releasing any tension. As you come to the next exhalation, allow the ear to become a little heavier. Engaging the core. Then drawing the nose back again to center. Again, just making sure that chin isn't tipped up towards the ceiling. Let's take the feet a little wider now. I'm going to position the feet to the edges of the mat, so I know that my feet are positioned wider than hip width distance apart. The arms remain wide as we simply roll both knees over to the right side. You might notice that you can't quite get your left knee to the floor. Turn your head over the left arm. Widen on an inhale, soften down and release on an exhale. Take a further full breath in. On the exhale, engage the core. Roll those knees back through center. And we're simply dropping the weight of the knees to the opposite side as we turn the head over the opposite arm. So this is nice and gentle, but you might be getting messages back from the lower back, from the middle back, just to say that you're holding yourself a little tightly here. We're working with gravity, so we're not holding the weight of the knees up. Taking an inhalation to widen into the space, an exhalation to engage the core and return the knees to center. Let's step the feet a little closer together. So now we're mindful of the heels being hip width apart. Let's reposition the hands either side of the hips, so we're softening the shoulders, opening the space through the chest. Gently pushing down into the soles of the feet and ever so lightly lifting the bottom from the floor. So it doesn't have to be a big lift. Find a little bit of control so that the knees don't roll outwards, that you don't feel like you're hanging around on the outside edge of the feet. Mindfully press the big toe mound into the mat, press the shins forward, and you'll feel a little more opening through the front of the thighs into the hip flexors. Let's keep those shoulders nice and soft, inhaling to lift the arms overhead. It may be that you can get the full length of the arms to rest on the floor. If you have any shoulder or indeed elbow limitation, you might find that you can't quite relax the arms back. If taking the arms wider is more comfortable for you, then make adjustments that you need to be comfortable. Press the shins forward, lift the thighs higher. Visualize that inhalation widening through the chest, through the collarbones. Feel the flats of the shoulder blades deepen their connection with the floor. Keep the arms in the position where you have chosen for comfort. Then start at the space between the shoulder blades and let's slowly start to release the length of the spine to the floor. Now there will come a point in middle back where you will feel that the shoulders want to lift from the floor. Work with the breath, slowly releasing the back of the hips, bringing the full length of the back to rest on the floor. Then as you exhale, hug both knees in towards the chest, applying a little pressure either behind the thighs or on top of the shins. Repositioning the hands onto the knees, drawing circles in opposite directions with the knees, so stirring the top of the thigh bone into the hip socket, changing direction, taking those circles the opposite way. Once more, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Don't be frightened to apply so much pressure that you feel as though your lower back is lifting from the floor, giving you that extra stretch. Then replace the feet to the floor. Widen the arms again into that T-shaped position. And we're going to repeat the little twist that we did earlier, but this time you'll notice the feet are hip width apart, so they're a little bit closer. So when you roll both knees over to the right, you kind of feel as though the thighs are stacked one on top of the other. You'll notice the left buttock comes off the floor, but ideally we want to feel the flats of the shoulder blades equally weighted to help to keep that left shoulder nicely released. Let's turn the gaze again over the left arm. Inhaling from fingertip to fingertip, widening through the chest. And as you exhale, engage the core. Feel the weight of the knees travel through center. Inhale to realign through center. Exhale to roll the knees to the opposite side, turning your head over the opposite arm. And just notice the difference on this side. We've always got one side that we hold a little tighter than the other. Send the breath to anywhere that may feel a little restricted. With every deeper exhalation, give yourself permission to release a little more deeply. Then as you exhale, engage the core, draw the weight of the knees back through center. Bring the head back to center. Let's lift the right foot up. We're not going to take it all the way in the air. We're simply going to rest that right ankle on top of the left knee. So it's just a little bit south of the knee, resting on top of the thigh. Notice the angle of the right knee as it rolls out. Rather than letting it fully roll out, let's bring that knee to line up with the sternum. So we're turning the knee in towards the body. As you exhale, engage the core. As you inhale, lift the left foot from the floor and gently squeeze that leg towards you. So as you're gently drawing that left knee in towards the chest, you're deepening the space at the right side of the hip into the buttock. Just gently starting an opening there. Replace that left foot to the floor. Unhook. We'll bring the opposite leg up and over. Remembering to reset so that the left knee is now drawn in towards the sternum. Engaging the core to support the lower back. Then lifting that right knee and drawing the knee in. Applying a little extra pressure
just so that you can feel that deeper stretch to the hip, to the outside of the buttock. Then on the out breath, release that foot to the floor. Unhook that leg. Bring the soles of the feet together. Roll both knees out now and just come to rest in a supine Baddha Konasana. So the arms are still in that T-shaped position. It's almost as though someone has just splattered you on the floor. Fully released through the upper back. There's a little bit of resistance in and around the hips, in the inner thigh. You can feel that that's a little bit of hard work for that stretch. We just want to find a little space around the hips. As you exhale, engage the core, draw the thighs towards one another. And again, we're going to reset those feet hip width apart. Again, we're paying attention to the big toe mound being pressed to the floor. If you can, imagine that you're gently lifting up that instep, that you're equally weighted from the heel through to the big toe. Take a deep breath in through the chest, widen. As you exhale, engage the core. On the next inhalation, lift the right leg up fully now. Lengthen that right leg, pressing through the heel, coming to full flexion on the exhalation. Inhale to point the toe, exhale to flex. Inhale to point, exhale to flex. Press a little more keenly through that heel. Follow the big toe to draw 3 circles in towards the midline of the body. Change direction, take those circles the opposite way. Bring that foot back to full flexion, pressing through the heel. You might now want to use the hands to take hold of that upper thigh. Try not to rest onto the knee joint. Then on an out breath, guide the thigh a little closer to the chest. Keep the back of the hips on the floor. Point the toe to loosen the hamstring a little. Then as you exhale, press through the heel, straighten the leg once more. Draw the thigh a little closer towards the chest. As you exhale, bend the right knee, hugging the knee towards the chest. Directing the knee out towards the right shoulder. Once more, that creates a little release for the lower back. Then release the hands from the shin, replace the right foot to the floor. Just check that the heels again are in line with the hips, the insides of the feet parallel. Reset that connection from the big toe mound, avoiding that rolling out to the outside edge of the feet. Take a deep breath in through the nose. As you exhale, engage the core. On the next inhalation, lift and lengthen through the left leg. As you come to the exhale, come to the flexion. So inhaling to point, exhaling to flex, gently mobilizing the ankle joint, pushing a little more keenly through the heel, then drawing 3 circles in towards the midline of the body. Changing direction, taking those circles the opposite way. Come to full flexion as you press through the heel. Then once more we'll use the hands, either an interlock behind the thigh or gently either side of the thigh. Exhaling to draw the thigh a little closer. You can point the toe to release the tension on the hamstring. Find a nice solid adjustment as you press through the heel and draw the thigh a little closer still. Again, nice release for the lower back. Oftentimes we hold tension in the lower back because the hamstrings are tight. On the out breath, bend that left knee, hug the knee towards the chest. Redirect the knee towards the outside of that left shoulder. So you'll notice that's a little kinder on the lower back, allowing that natural hip shape. Then replace both feet to the floor. Take that T-shaped position with the arms once more. Lifting the right leg, placing it on top of the left thigh. So just again, slightly above the knee. Pushing down into the sole of the right foot. So we're lifting the bottom just a couple of inches from the floor. It's not a big movement here. On the exhalation, shift the hips over to the left side, lower the bottom back to the floor. Then as you exhale, take that knee over the midline of the body and turn your gaze over that left arm. Wide through the chest, released and relaxed. So we started that gentle opening at the side of the buttocks, the outside of the hip. We're now just increasing that little bit of resistance there. But we're recruiting a little bit of help by opening into the side of the rib cage, into the side of the waist, encouraging a very natural and easy twist in the lower back, encouraging a little bit of release of tension here. We're not going to apply any extra pressure tonight. We're just allowing gravity to float that top knee towards the floor. Anytime that sends any pain signal or discomfort into the lower back, you just want to draw that knee a little higher up. As you exhale, engage the core, lift the weight of your leg back to center, unhook, reposition the hips square. So the opposite foot comes up, over, rests on top of the thigh. There's a little lift just to take the bottom from the floor. We're taking the hips away from the bent knee, replacing the back of the hips to the floor. Now we can roll that bent knee over the midline of the body, turning the gaze over the opposite arm. So we've got opening through the side of the rib cage, into the side of the waist, but most of us will be feeling it more intensely around the outside of the hip, into the buttock. And again, we're not going to push down on the thigh, we're just allowing gravity to deepen that connection for us. We remain relaxed in the upper body, we're soft through the shoulders. Check in that you're not clenching the jaw. Keep the breath soft and released. Then as you exhale, engage the core. Draw the knees back again to center. Unhook. Bring the knees back to that bent knee position, heels hip width apart. Exhale to draw both knees in towards the chest. There's so much space now in the lower back, so you'll find that you can almost roll back towards the middle back. Let's draw a little figure of 8 with the knees, sort of gently releasing. It's like a massaging action over the back of the sacrum. Replacing both feet to the floor. Perfect. So I want to do a little bit of work on all fours, but what I think I might do is I might do you a little, I think I'll do the Shavasana here because we're already comfortable, and then it means that we'll just come to, we'll do a little bit of releasing and then we can conclude. So if you're comfortable to do so, extend the legs along the mat. If your lower back is still feeling a little tight, this might be a good time to pop a pillow, a bolster, a folded blanket underneath the knees, just to create that little bit of resistance so that you're not holding the full weight of your legs into the lower back. I personally prefer to take my feet a little wider than hip width distance, and rather than having the hands in the T shape, let's just take the hands either side of the hips, widening so that we've got plenty of space at the side of the rib cage. Checking in that we can feel the back of the heels, the back of the hands, back of the hips, flats of the shoulder blades, and the back of the head, easing and releasing, softening into the floor beneath you. Turn your awareness to the breath. Chances are that because we've been focusing on the different twists, on the different stretches, we've probably snuck back into a shallow breath pattern. So let's take a few moments to deepen the breath, following the journey of the breath from the tip of the nose along the nasal passages, feeling the breath expand and widen into the lungs and the ribcage. Noticing with every inhalation how that expansion widens through the muscles of the upper back. Imagine sending the breath down through the length of the spine. Visualize that you can breathe space between each individual vertebra. It may take you 2 or 3 full breath rotations to complete that journey, sending nourishing, energizing breath to the full length of your spine. Notice that with every inhalation, you can feel the whole of your upper body expand and widen to fill the space that surrounds you. With every exhalation, feel the weight of your body returning to the earth. Every exhalation, a moment of release. Every exhalation, an invitation to soften. A reminder that there's nowhere else you need to be. There's nothing else you need to do. Simply be here, now, focusing on the breath. Feeling that positive energy through the full length of your body. Gifting yourself this time creates an opportunity for you to recharge your batteries. You've spent some time this evening noticing where the body may be holding tension. Noticing where the breath perhaps feels a little stagnant. Take a moment here to allow your breath to become a little noisier. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feels as though that exhalation carries away any tension. You can put as much power behind that exhalation as you feel you need to clear any tension, to release any unwanted energy. You're filling your body with the good stuff, letting go of anything that's holding you back. Taking one further deep breath in through the nose. Letting go now with an audible sigh. Repeat if you feel your body needs to release further. And slowly start to return your breath to a natural, easy rhythm. The familiar ebb and flow of the breath. No effort. No particular focus. Noticing again the weight of your body against the floor. Becoming aware again of how you're holding your body, your position in this room. Now slowly starting to return sensation to the body. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. Start to wriggle the jaw and the nose. Let's turn those movements with the jaw into drawing circles with the jaw, almost like a cow chewing the cud. Exaggerate this action. Again, we're coming back to releasing tension in the neck, simulating the vagus nerve. Changing direction, taking those circles the opposite way. Don't stifle that yawn. If you need to let it go, let it go. Bring your face very tight now. Pull all the muscles in tight. Pull your mouth tight, your eyes tight. Squeeze the muscles of the face together. Squeeze the muscles of the hands together. Bring the feet back into flexion. Squeeze the buttocks together. Feel as though you're tightening in the corset, drawing the tummy up towards the chest. Hold that tension here in the body. Then as you exhale, let everything relax, let it go. Take a moment to extend the arms overhead, taking a long stretch through the body. On the out breath, hug the knees to the chest. You might need a moment again just to reawaken, gently rocking from one side to the other. I'm not quite letting you off the hook. You're going to take yourself all the way over to one side. Then slowly make your way to an all fours position. Position the wrists under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. Gently soften the elbows so we're not locking out, we're not holding ourselves up, we're just allowing the body to soften, widening again through the collarbones. Turn both toes under. Exhale to draw the tummy button in, rolling up through the spine, gently nodding the chin to the chest. Reverse that shape, coming to the tops of the feet now as you inhale to lift the sternum forward, lower the lower back. Lift the gaze, but not looking up to the ceiling. Exhaling, rolling through the spine. Inhaling, softening, opening through the sternum, releasing the lower back. One more time into that cat stretch as you open up, squeezing the tummy button to the spine, nodding the chin to the chest. Returning now to a neutral spine position. Extending both hands forward, remaining relaxed once more in the elbows, keeping the palms connected to the floor as you push the sit bones towards the heels, gently lowering the ears down between the upper arms. With every out-breath, feel yourself sinking the forehead a little deeper towards the floor, trying to keep the arms in alignment with the upper arms. On the next exhalation, draw the tummy button in. On the inhalation, lift yourself back to that all fours position, sliding the hands back. Coming back to sit in a hero pose just for a moment. Oh, bet the knees are not happy about that. And turn and face. Bring the hands to an Anjali Mudra. Touch to the head for kind thoughts, to the lips for kind words, and to the heart for kind intentions. The light in me honours the light in you. Namaste. I will turn the recording off. I will comment on how I look like a lion. How very fitting. Bushy, bushy hair. More. Oh, I don't know how to stop recording. Stop.